you figured it out. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you came from, I don't know, you put in the work. That's all I know.
Yeah, she really did. She really did.
A lot of respect for
Really,
that.
like,
So
I mean, yeah, yeah. Um, I think your tutoring is like it's amazing, especially for kids like Angie, that she's very, self-motivated. She's on top of her stuff, and I mean, you guys
No,
also
yeah.
help to push as well.
And there were
Yeah,
times like where you guys would like be texting me in the group, oh, when are you gonna get this done? When are you get this done?
yeah.
I was like, I wish they knew that I'm gonna get it done. I'm just like, cause like I have like, like I'm very like responsible, so I get it done. But I know you guys don't know like what type of like students, like whether you have like irresponsible students, or, that are not top on top of their stuff. But like every time you guys would text me, I'd be like, I know I'm gonna get it done. I promise. Like I'll get it done one way or another.
Yeah.
I remember that there was a moment there where I texted you. You probably don't know. I don't even know if you guys knew who I was in that text, but I'd get in there sometimes, and then I remember I texted you, and you like told me like respectfully, I'm gonna get this done, and like I'm not lazy. I do my shit, and I'm gonna get this done. And then when you said that, I was like, okay. I was like, I'm gonna stay quiet. Let's see if she gets it done. And you got it done. And then I stopped bothering you. Like now, the rest of my team that's different. They that's what I pay them for, to be like kind of like, and it's hard for them to know, like it's like you were saying.
Yeah.
Like I knew you would get it done, but then I was like, whatever, let them bother her.
Let
And
them bother.
it's
No, but
okay.
I think it's great. I think it's great because, I think there's a lot of other students that really do need that constant push. But no, I can tell you that what you do absolutely 100% is, I mean, it's so worth it, and it works, and it's effective, and it works in a short amount of time. Because prior to her going to you guys, we tried like a private tutor, and Angie was like, Mom, like there's no way I'll ever get it done. Like, this is just going way too slow. Like I'll never attain the score, and I'll never be ready in time to take the test, and
Because like when I reached out for SAT tutoring, I was already like towards the end of my junior year. So I was already like reaching towards the deadline where everyone's like, oh, we need to start
right.
applying for colleges, scholarships, whatever. And I still didn't have my SAT score. So I was kind of freaking out. And like we tried a private tutor that didn't work. And then Gabby told me about you guys. And then I'm like, okay, well, like this is my last chance because it's like already summer before senior year. And yeah.
Right. Yeah. And
Yeah. Wow.
before this, I didn't even think about tutoring because Angie's never been a student that's ever needed tutoring. She's always done well in math, all like straight A's all her life. So it was, she's done well in the FSA, all her tests, and then she goes and takes the SAT, and we're like, whoa, you know, she's, she's like,
It's another beast.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Wait, so and so at that time, so you had taken the test already, right? Before you did
Yeah,
tutoring?
Yeah. I took it like
twice.
twice. Yeah. One like our school offered it for free, and then one like through like whatever college
Yeah,
course.
yeah, like on the weekend. And when you took it, I'm assuming like so you got your score back and it like wasn't what you wanted, right?
Yeah, it wasn't. And I mean, I tried like self-studying for like the SAT, even the PSAT, but like I was just stagnant. Like I either got the same exact score, I got like a 500, or I would go down. Like one of my scores was like a 480, 490. So if you
Gotcha.
think about it, I improved more than 200 points because at one point I was scoring like 480s.
But okay, so what do you think? Because I kind of understand I understand your situation more or less at the time, right? You were, trying to do well on this test, and you were trying to self study. It wasn't working. You had done tutoring. It wasn't working. Why'd you need to do better though? Like for you
For
specifically?
for me, I mean, Florida Bright Futures, like I was doing this, like I set that goal for myself and I wanted to reach it because I want to become a nurse, and I know like nursing and really rigorous coursework, and you go to school for a very long time. I don't know. I just set that goal for myself to get Florida Bright Futures, and like, I hope that at the end of the tutoring that I would get 100%. And that was at like I was close to 75%. So I'm like, okay, at least I'll get 75%. But I was
Right.
hopeful that I would make it to that 100.
Nice. And I guess at the time when you were, taking the test and you were trying to self-study or whatever, like, what do you feel was like your biggest issue with the test, like, or your biggest frustration with it?
My biggest frustration, I mean, I was fine on timing, and like when I started this tutoring, I told you guys like I'm like fine, I can finish the test right on time. But it's like a matter of like all this stuff that was from like eighth or ninth grade math, and a lot like there was like geometry that I was really bad in geometry, and like the whole like COVID and everything that just like messed up my math. And I've never been like terrible at math. I've always ended in A's. It's just like with COVID and everything, like it just went down.
Downhill?
Yeah.
Would you say that math or is or was a strength, or are you better at reading in general?
In general, I was like always better at reading. And yes, like my first time, well, like I believe it was my second time taking the SAT. I did way better in reading. I got like a 660 in reading. Like reading has always been my strength, so I know I didn't have to like reach out for reading tutoring. I knew like the 660 was the score that I was gonna stay with in reading, Um, but definitely I needed to get like a 690, 700 in math to be able to get 100% of Florida by Futures.
And okay, so you were better at reading, but from what I'm hearing here, you still always passed your math classes. So you weren't like bad at math, right?
No, yeah.
Um, what math class were you in? I guess last year.
Yeah, last year I was in pre-calc. So this year I'm not taking any math.
Peace out. Okay, yeah, I've had enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so all right, well, yeah. So you were in pre-cal, so it's like you were solid in math. So I guess it goes back to what you were saying, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but there's just a lot of things that you learn that are on the test that you don't really see in pre-cal. Most of what's on the test was stuff that you saw in probably eighth grade and ninth grade, I want to say.
Yeah, and it was like I would learn the math for the test, and then like it would just I would never use it again, and so it would just leave. I don't know, like
Yeah.
that's what happened to me. And especially during like COVID and stuff like that, that literally everything was online. So like we'd have like one test every month or something like that, like I really struggled.
Before you started the tutoring, though, so what was your expectation of the virtual group learning environment?
Well, like I said, I always struggled with Zoom and math in general in Zoom. So when Gabby first told me about it, like Gabby first told me about it, and I went to the private tutor for that same reason, because she's like, "Oh, I'm doing this tutoring and it's a group tutoring." And I'm like, "Hell no." And then she told me the hours, like it was from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And she's like, "She's crazy. I'm not doing that shit." And so and and so I reached out to the private tutor, and he was like, "Oh yeah, an hour and a half twice a week." And I'm like, "Okay, like this sounds way better, you know." And it was private, and it took me like a couple months to realize that he wasn't the best fit for me. And then I'm like, you know what, like we're getting close to summer. I need to try something. So I'm just like, I had the meeting with you, and then from there, like the way you explain things, stuff like that. I trusted Gabby. I really trusted Gabby in the sense that she was saying that it was really helping her. But that it is a lot of hard work. Like she was like doing so many different things while she took your tutoring. Um, and like she showed me the amount of coursework she had, but I was ready to put in the work. So anything is
So you say it was it a lot of work? Did that actually, like, do you agree with that?
yes, I do.
I honestly thought it was a substantial amount of work, because she took it in the summer where she had other activities, but she didn't have as much going on as she does during the year. And it did take up a lot of her time. She really put a lot of work into all the packets and the information you guys gave her. So she did put a lot of work, outside of the meeting, of the group meeting with you guys as
Yeah,
well.
I would have like little like study dates like with like me and my friends. Like we would go to like Starbucks or whatever for like 3 hours, and we would just like jam pack as many homeworks as we can. So
with other people in the course, or
Yeah, with other people in the course, with Vanessa and Camila were in the course with her.
nice.
Yeah.
So you just, yes, that's the smart move. Do it with friends.
yeah.
Do it with friends.
Like certain practice tests. So like I'd have like when it started getting closer to the SAT, I would have like 7 practice tests a week and stuff like that. And so when she would like one of our practice tests would correlate, I'd be like, okay, let's time ourselves, let's do it together. And then like at the end of the test, we'll see which ones, like we circle the ones that we're confused on. And then like normally she would have understand that question, or like there was a question that I would understand that she didn't. And so like we would just like switch papers and be like, okay, like this is how you're supposed to do this one, you know?
Nice. That's awesome. I love the teamwork. I always love to ask, like, how did you did you do anything special to manage your time? Like, I know it's summer, so it's a little bit easier, but still, like how are you able to, did you have like a system? Like I did a few hours a day, or did you just kind of like just wing it, or I don't know.
Yeah, so like I had like work Mondays and Fridays. So like Mondays and Fridays I knew like because I had work in the mornings. So normally those would be like my work days. Like if I worked, I was gonna work on tutoring as well. So I would come back and I would like, like make sure to at least submit like one homework. And then like I would plan in advance, like on the weekend and be like, okay, so Wednesday and Thursday, I don't have anything going on. We're gonna meet at Starbucks for 3 hours and we're gonna get some assignments done. And then there were some times where like I had a lot going on during the week and like I wouldn't be able to submit any assignments until like 2 nights right before. And literally from like the morning to the night, I would just be like doing like all the assignments like till like 2 in the morning. But I got them done. So
It's because in the summer I don't play. You know this already. So yeah, during this, I can't do what I do in the summer in the school year. It's it makes me a little sad, but because it's just hard to get the same results unless you do that. Like there's no secret, It's just like, hey guys, I just need you to do 1,000 practice problems at least. Are we good? Yeah, we're good. All right, cool. Your score is gonna go up. I mean, I did the math, and in the summer, you guys probably did close to the ones who did everything, at least 2,000 problems of practice.
Wow.
Some more. I mean, I don't know. I've had students do like 20 practice tests. Each practice test is 58 questions, let's say. Right. So that's 1,160 problems. Then in class, that's like 10 classes. You do about 50 problems a class. It's another 500 problems. And then each week you had at least 100 problems in the summer. That was kind of crazy. Yeah, that's 2,000 problems. So like it would be anywhere between, if you were lazy, you did like 1,000 problems. And then if you were like really motivated, you did like 2,000 problems. So it's no secret, but anyways, you did it, so it worked, and that's awesome. All right, well, okay, if somebody asked you, how would you describe the service to another student?
I would like describe it like surprisingly like really interactive, because like you would think that like it's like regular like Zoom classes that you just play in the background and like you could have your camera off and stuff like that. But it's like surprisingly not, because like literally you have to have your camera on, and every 2 seconds we're like moving on to a new problem. So you grab your phone for 1 second and we're already 2 problems ahead. And like she's like, oh, Angelina, you there? You there? You're gonna, or she'll be like, Angie, can you help me with this one?
Yeah, and it's not like we move on and we don't make you explain it.
Yeah. It would be like if one person didn't submit their answer, that would be the person that would have to like explain. And it's not like you'd have that much time. Like you'd think that you're on there for like 4 or 5 hours and you could like, you could sneak your phone in a little phone time, but you really can't.
And yeah, you really can't. Damn. And did you like your tutor?
I loved my tutor. Like I love Brianna. Like she would like that's I don't know. I love Brianna. At first you guys put me with Vicky and it was a little intense, I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't have anything against her, but she moved really fast for like
that class. I think it was not Vicky, it's the class. So I'll put it like that.
Yeah.
And then
like it would be like I would always be the last to answer a question and I would still be working on it and she would call me, oh Angie, can you help me with this? And I'm like, I'm not done yet. But yeah, I really liked, yeah.
But we made that adjustment. That was good. It's funny. I remember there was the one time. So we made that first adjustment, and you were like, "Hey, can you move me to? I'd like a little bit a pace that's better for me." And I was like, "All right, I got you. I know a perfect group." And in Bree's group, it's like they were basically this like very similar level. You guys would do like maybe like 5 less problems or something, right, per class. So I was like, "Perfect. I just need you to get everything you do in class, and you'll be fine, right?" Like at the end of the day, like I tell the students, at a certain point, like the group you're in is gonna make a slight difference, right? What's really gonna make the big difference is what you do outside of class. As long, you know what I'm saying? Like as long as you're in class and you're understanding and you're focused, you'll be fine. And then when you get out of class, though, is when the real work begins, and it wouldn't have mattered. You know what I'm saying? If you were in one group or the other, because you did what you had to outside. So I had made that swap, and it was great. We both agreed, and you were like, "Yo, this is the group for me." And it goes at the perfect pace, blah blah. And then I remember there was just like this one specific class that in that for that topic you were just a little more advanced, like more than usual. You were just like getting everything right so fast, and I was like, man, we got to move her up. And I had forgotten that you were like you and Bree were had gotten like cool at that point, or you enjoyed that class. And I was like, all right, let's do Operation Move Angelina. So we took you out and we did one-on-one with you, and we were trying to like make you go faster. And then for whatever reason, you did it. And I'm like, is she resisting this? And then like, I'm like, yo, is she
I
low
knew
key?
I knew what was happening. Patty
And
pulled
it
me
didn't
out.
work. And we like just put her back. And then later it occurred to me. I was like, oh yeah, she really likes Bree's group. She doesn't want to go up.
No, yeah, I knew what you guys were doing, and I'm like, I need to take a little longer on this one. Okay, let me double check my work because I
It
don't
didn't
know.
make sense. It didn't make sense. I was like, no, she just doesn't want to go. And I was like, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. And the like timing was like I get why you guys have like the more advanced groups, and I know like Vicky goes like a lot, like her group goes a lot faster
I
than
don't even
yours.
know if it was, by the way, it doesn't even mean that it was going to be Vicky. You have no idea who it was going to be. Um,
Oh
it
yeah.
could, it was just someone, it was just another group. And yes, they were going to go faster. That answers the question.
But like I don't know, like for me personally, like I work better like when I'm practicing, I work better at like a slower pace so like I understand things better. And then when it comes to the test, like I don't know, the pressure, like I work good under pressure. So like
Yeah.
in the test, I'm like, okay, I know this and then like I'll go quickly. But like practicing and learning it, I need to like take my time and like
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you'll have my other daughter next summer.
Yes. She's been doing tutoring with Marcella, I believe.
Yes, yes, and it's been going great. Marcella's awesome.
I love Mars. I love her.
Yeah, and
She's really good.
my youngest loves Marcella as well. Like she's been in tutoring before, my youngest, and out of every tutor she says Marcella's the best.
She's had a lot of experience. It's kind of crazy. She's had more than 1,000 hours of tutoring.
Wow. Yeah.
Some crazy stat that we keep track of stuff.
She's definitely good. Yes.
That's awesome. And Viviana, like, how would you describe the service to another parent?
Well, I mean, everything I've told you, I think that you guys what you guys do is it's effective. It works. It it gets a lot of practice in, and I think that that's what gets the students to bring up their scores like Angie did. I love that I'm included in the chat as well, because at least I'm informed, even though Angie is very, self-motivated, very, responsible. I don't have to worry, but it's nice to be kept in the loop. I got concerned when I kept seeing, text messages like Angie, have you turned this in? And I'm like, wow, I'm like, Angie has to be
I've never seen this before.
never seen
Yeah.
that before. Yeah. But no, but I knew she was on it. And well, I mean her test score, it speaks for itself. Your work had a lot to do with it. The tutoring that she had with Piece of Pie.
So now that we were there, what result did we help you get, Angie? And what was your final score and your total improvement?
Well, my first SAT, it was like I believe a 490. So a 490 to a 700.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congrats. You really deserved it. You did everything. I mean, I don't know. I can't, as much as it was funny that we had that whole like moment of like a split second of doubt where you were like, no, I will do it all. And I was like, all right, I believe you. I believe you. And just the way you said it, I was like, no, she means it. So
Because I understand, like I know, like some of my friends are like, the students were like, you need to be on top of them, and you need to like, and your tutoring is perfect for that. Like honestly, like any friend that I have like that needs like, you guys are like on top of them. You're very,
Right.
yeah, some people need it.
Yeah, some people
Right,
need it. Yeah.
Angelina, like just last few thoughts, comments, like what advice would you give a student right now on this journey?
I would just say to keep working hard and keep that like, that positive mindset. Cause towards the beginning, like our first mock test, I had already been doing tutoring for like a couple weeks, I missed one session, and then we had the mock test like a week right after that. And I believe it was only like a 50-point improvement. So I was like really disappointed in myself. But then like after that, I kind of used it as like motivation to like, like do better, make sure that anything I have is not as important as attending that one session, because I feel like that's what messed me up. Because I know there were so many questions that like you guys taught in that one session that I missed, and they were on the mock exam, and I got them wrong for that very reason, like because I missed. So I would just say to stay pushing, stay positive, and stay moving. Doesn't matter what that first mock exam score comes out to be, because ultimately if you work hard, you'll achieve that dream score.
And I think stick to doing your packets, I mean, if they are really on it and make it a point to not miss it, not one single one. Like you said, I think the more problems they get, they get to see, they get to solve, that's how you get there.
Yeah, facts. No, that's 100%. And to what Angelina was saying, it is normal it just takes a while. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's in the beginning, you do a lot of work and you don't really go up that much. It's what they call an S curve. You don't go up that much, but then after a while, it all accumulates, and then out of nowhere, your score just kind of like jumps. But then you're gonna reach a plateau.
Yeah, like a stagnant.
And then it jumps again, and then plateau, and then you know what I'm saying. So it has this kind of, I don't know if for the chemistry nerds, it's a titration curve, but look that up later. But it looks like a bunch of S's like this, and and there's obviously at a certain point like a plateau of like close to the 100. Or to the students like upper limit. But yeah, it is going to take a while for you to see a gain. The gains come kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then it plateaus again, and then people freak out with the plateau. They're like, I keep getting the same score. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I was very stagnant. Like before the SAT, like all my scores were like 660, 670, 680. Like I would just like, those were like my scores for every single practice test. And I believe I took like 24 or 25 practice tests throughout your whole entire like course. And like my last couple ones before the SAT, I was worried because I'm like, I'm getting like a 670, but I need at least a 680, 690 to get 100% of Florida Bright Futures. And then so I go into that SAT and I get a 700. So that was like my little curve,
right at the moment that you needed it.
Yeah,
that's great. That's awesome. I love what I do. So yeah, thank you so much. This is a great experience for me.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course.